Wait, let me just. There we go. All right. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Garrett.
And I'm Owen.
And we are the White Guys podcast. Yeah. We talk
TM.
about, movies.
Not actually.
Movies and stuff.
Yep.
Just like the last two
Pop culture and
episodes.
such, but mostly movies.
Yeah, just like the last two episodes that I'm sure you guys have.
You better have already seen.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
They're good ones. Hold on.
They're worth watching at least twice.
Honestly, I would agree. Yeah, watch them twice. Help us get closer to monetizing ourselves on Spotify.
Yeah.
Anyway, today we're going to be talking about
The Spiderwick Chronicles.
The Spiderwick Chronicles. Let me just pull up the info on this
film.
I forgot to write it all down beforehand. But yeah, we watched it last night.
Yeah,
Same as last time, as we do.
Yeah.
We did all of our research, obviously.
Of course.
Of course. Okay,
we're professionals.
Yeah, we're professional movie critics.
Goers. That too.
That's what I meant. Goers. Anyway, this movie came out on February 14th of 2008.
Valentine's Day?
Oh yeah, Valentine's Day 2008.
This is not a very romantic movie. In fact, there's a divorced couple in it.
That's true. I would not
recommend for Valentine's Day.
No, it's probably not for Valentine's Day consumption.
Unless you're like a jaded single.
Yeah, and that's true.
But,
Anyway, it was directed by a guy named Mark Waters.
Yes.
Have you heard of him?
No.
No, me neither.
I actually heard of him when I watched the ending credits.
That's true.
Yeah.
Me too. I also watched the movie.
Yeah.
It had it made 164 million in the box office.
What was the budget?
It's not listed on the Google.
No?
No, not.
I wanted to make a and it shows joke.
Hold on. I'll find it. Wait. Wikipedia.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
It had a budget.
What does bated breath even mean?
Bated breath. I don't know, man. Production.
You were guys, he's taking forever.
Sorry, guys.
Have you ever looked up a budget on Wikipedia?
I can't find it.
It'll be in the right there. It should be right on top of box office.
It's not on top of box office.
Okay, then it's unknown.
Yeah, okay, so the budget is unknown. Nobody knows.
Is unknown. Nobody
we
knows.
don't know, that's for sure.
Yeah. Only Mark Waters knows.
Okay,
anyway.
It has an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is actually pretty solid.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
That really surprises me. Usually Rotten Tomatoes is rather
critical of bad movies. It's not that bad.
It's honestly not that bad. It's kind of fun.
And it has a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
That feels
more accurate. Much more accurate.
But I honestly, I'd give it. Well, no, we'll get into ratings at the end. After the fact.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, I guess we just dive in.
Yeah, let's dive right in. Okay. So
actually, before we dive right in, let me just. For all of you audio viewers, we have a 2-liter here, so
yeah,
it's comically difficult to drink from.
Yeah,
but this is what we were drinking from yesterday. So, and as college students, we don't have the budget to get more Dr. Pepper.
That's true.
Well, I always have budget for Dr. Pepper, but still. All right, sorry. Now you can begin.
Okay, so the movie opens with Arthur Spiderwick, who is the titular Spiderwick in the Spiderwick Chronicles.
The Spiderwick himself.
Okay, before I even go any further, it's based on a book called The Spiderwick Chronicles, but guys, how funny is it that it's called The Spiderwick Chronicles and it's only one movie?
Hey, Chronicles.
How much can you chronicle in one movie?
Not much.
Not enough.
You cannot chronicle.
Anyway.
You can't chronicle in one movie. That's not how it works. Chronicles implies at least
2.
I think 3.
3?
I think Chronicles implies 3 movies.
Dang.
Tell me I'm wrong. The Chronicles of Narnia. That's like 9. Well, there's only like 3 movies, but there's 9 books. 7 books.
No, yeah,
7 books.
7 or 6, yeah.
7 books.
Okay.
But it implies more than one. You
Yeah,
know? That's what I'm thinking.
yeah.
That's not a Chronicles.
You know, like I made my joke and then you just kind of
Okay.
could have ended right there.
Sorry. Continue.
Yeah.
Just tell us about the movie.
Only bullying here.
Tell us about the movie,
on
Owen.
the podcast. Okay. So
Continue.
It starts with Arthur Spiderwick like frantically moving around his pitch black office at night, and he's like trying to put this book together. He like closes the page and then he puts like a stamp, like
a stamp.
Is that it? Probably has a name. It's like one of those seals that you.
Oh, it's like a wax seal.
Yeah.
It's a wax seal.
He puts a wax seal on the book.
He puts a wax seal
and shuts it, and then a shockwave goes out, and you hear a.
Exactly like that. Exactly like we just did is exactly the sound that you hear on screen.
Yeah, and then he like does he even?
I wrote in my notes, "Daddy's angry."
There's no other way to say it.
There's no other way to put that.
And then he puts the book away in this chest, and then smash cut to the present, where.
Yeah, it's one of those stereotypical movies where like a family moves into an old house, and but it's like usually, a little bit mysterious and magical.
Yeah. Usually these moving scenes though are like during the day and like there's whimsical music playing or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
But this time like it's in pitch black darkness and they roll up and like he's probably not the youngest.
Well, that's probably way more realistic that they roll up in pitch black darkness.
Yeah, right.
Like realistically, 100%. They've been driving all day.
Yeah.
You show up there, it's like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, let's just get our stuff in so we can go to bed and we'll unpack it all tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's like the realistic way to do it. It's not really that likely that you show up at high noon.
Yeah, true, right?
As this podcast comes out on a Wednesday at high noon.
At high noon sometimes.
Yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, so they roll up and the family is this mom who's played by an actress I recognize, but I don't know where from.
Yeah, she's probably big, but not big enough for me to know.
Yeah. And then there's a pair of twins played by Freddie Highmore, both of them, which if you know Freddie Highmore, he's like the good doctor.
Yeah. From that one show.
From that one show. Can I just say, how is that show so long?
I don't know. I only see clips of it on like YouTube shorts.
Yeah, I've only seen the one clip where he's like, no, I am a doctor.
I am a doctor. Yeah, I only see clips of that. I've never actually seen the show itself.
Yeah.
Or how long it is, to be honest.
I think it's like 9 seasons.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God. It's like House.
Yeah.
House has way too many seasons.
Okay, guys, I low-key hate House.
Really? Oh my goodness.
The doctor, I do not like him.
Well, he is kind of jaded and not very nice.
He does his job well though, so it's all forgiven.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, she's big, but we don't know who she is.
Yeah. And so then there's Freddie Highmore, and then there's the older sister who's played by
who knows.
She's cool though.
She has swords. That's kind of her thing.
She does.
She just always has a sword on her.
We never see her like go to fencing class, but she is like literally always just carrying a fencing sword around.
And half the time,
even when she's like outside looking for her brothers later
literally.
In the movie, which is so weird.
It's always like on her hip, in her hand.
Yeah.
Half the time she's like trying to fight one of her brothers just like for practice because she's a fencer or whatever.
Yeah. So Freddie Highmore plays twins, and I will say they go to great pains to make sure they're never in the same frame.
This is true.
It's done really well.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah,
believably.
Yeah, because you know the whole like twins playing or one guy playing two people. So realistically, unless they want to spend all of their budget on CGI, those two characters can never be in the same scene. Like logically.
Yeah, like they can, but one of them will always be like, it'll be the back of their head instead of their face.
So they'll have a body double. Mm-hmm. But they did it really well. Like honestly, I didn't even know that it was the same guy.
Yeah, we didn't know that it was the same guy because their haircut is different enough that they look like different people.
Yeah. Like you don't really.
So basically, all white people don't look the same.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
so they roll up.
One brother is angry. One of the twins
angry.
His name's Jared. Jared. He's just angry all the time.
Their last name Jared Grace.
Yeah, because their parents just got divorced, and he got stuck with his mom, and he hates his mom or something. Doesn't want to live with his mom.
I think he hates his mom because she won't tell him why they are separated.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. So he
just resents. He just resents. His
and
mom.
he like doesn't want to live with his mom, and he tells her that a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a menace.
He's actually like so mean.
He is actually so mean to his mom.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's really bad at points.
Yeah. But
then his brother is like a pacifist.
Yeah,
won't
Simon.
do anything near violence.
Yeah. To like an annoying degree, I have to say. He's like legitimately frustrating.
Yeah. He won't even like speak
out of turn.
Yeah. He's so like, yeah, it was crazy. Anyway.
Yeah. And then, so they go into the house, but
the house that time forgot.
Yes.
That's what they say.
It smells like old people.
Yeah, it does.
They go into the house, but the boy like stays behind because he's all mad or whatever, and he puts his headphones in and his earbuds, and he sits down all frustrated like, and then Mallory, the older sister, is like, "Get out of the car, we're going in." She's all mad. She's like a very is she a convincing older sister? What do you
honestly
think?
I would say so.
You think so?
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Neither of us have older sisters.
That's true.
But that's fine.
We're both older siblings.
It's true. The eldest. So they go into the house. They talk a little more in the kitchen.
They do the cliche like sink spray where she like turns the thing and it's like sprays all in her face.
Yeah. And I said like during the movie, she like opens her mouth as soon as the sink starts spraying at her. Why in these scenes do they always open their mouth?
Yeah, it's like the actors just assume that in that situation they would scream, but it just like doesn't really make sense for them to be like actively being sprayed by this like water.
Yeah.
And then just being like, oh, and like open their mouth all the way just to swallow all of it.
And like, okay, that water looked kind of grimy.
It was kind of grimy.
Like it was low key like copper-ish color.
Yeah, it was not good looking water.
Crazy. Like she's got at least one waterborne disease.
She has asbestos.
Yes.
She has all of the asbestos in her system. Sorry.
Yes. So Arthur Spiderwick lived in the house and he's their great uncle.
Yes, great.
What a weird relation.
A little bit.
Right?
Like you'd expect him to be like the great grandfather or something.
Yeah, right?
Great uncle seems kind of random and like misplaced.
Yeah, but I guess it's in some ways more believable that he has this obscure estate because he's like distantly related to them.
That's true.
But at the same time, like, what kind of will goes to like your great niece?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, because technically it was the
Lucinda, his daughter.
His daughter is the one that gave them the house, I assume.
But even then, like great aunt,
and she wasn't dead.
Yeah, she didn't. That's true. She didn't die. She went to the nut house. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So Lucinda is Spiderwick's daughter, and she's in the nut house. And they talk about like how weird, like the house is because she has like 80 bottles of honey and like 80 cans of tomato paste.
Yeah, it's kind of. It seems random.
Yeah, but it's important for later.
It is important for later. So as Jared does, he gets kind of mad like usual. And he like has an argument with his mom, and then he turns around and he like he hears something in the walls, like there's the walls.
He hears something in the wall, and then he knocks on the wall, and the wall knocks back.
Yeah, like they do in movies. And then he takes a broom and like just starts stabbing it through the wall.
Yeah, like they've been at this house for like 10 minutes, and he's already putting holes in the wall.
And they're like good, like he like stabs those walls.
Like,
he's like putting a lot of effort into stabbing those walls. And he does like 4 times. Then his mom comes in and under reaction of the century, she just looks at him and she's like, "When will you stop hitting things when you're angry?" Or something.
Like she's acting like he's done something worse.
Yeah, literally.
Like what did he do? Like destroy their grandmother's ashes or something? Like
I don't. Ugh. And then his siblings comes in and they're like, "Oh, you did it again. You can't be punching the holes in wall
Stop
that fast." And then his sister takes the broom, and like also they hear the thing in the walls.
Yeah.
And then his sister comes and like taps the wall, and it just like melts.
Yeah, it like completely falls.
Like
It's
a
crazy.
full like door.
Yeah, it's
full
like,
doorway just like melts off the wall.
yeah, it's like kitchen island height.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
the-
It's like a half a door.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
It'd be like a crawl space door.
Yeah, like a crawl space door. But inside of it is like all this random stuff.
Yeah.
And then
And
it's also an elevator.
Yeah, it's in a dumbwaiter.
It's in a dumbwaiter.
I don't know if does our modern audience know what a dumbwaiter is?
Maybe. It's like a thing. I don't think I know fully what it
Okay,
is.
so like a dumbwaiter is this thing that would be in old houses, and it's like a little box attached to a pulley system, and like really little kids can fit in it and like pull themselves up
Yeah.
or down, but really what it's for is either laundry or like meals.
Oh.
If they want to like give it, it's for like the butlers and the maids.
Oh,
to-
dumb waiter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
To
okay.
move laundry
Okay,
or
gotcha.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets in the dumbwaiter.
he
and
does. Does he do it later or like right then?
No, he does it like right then.
Okay.
Because he clears all the stuff out. He cleans
Yeah.
up all the stuff, and then he gets in the dumbwaiter and goes up to
Up.
and there's a secret room in like the attic or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he finds the book.
The book.
The book, as they say.
Is it in a chest?
Yeah, so he opens a chest and then finds this book that has like a note on it that says like do not read under any circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, bah, and he takes the book.
Is
and
there the Jared Grace leave this place thing? Is that at this part or is that
Yeah, no, that is at this part. And then
Yeah.
so like the dust on the
he
desk.
he hears scrambling about in the
He
room.
does. Yeah. And he like he turns around, and then on the desk, like in the dust,
It's like such a thick layer of
it
dust.
is. There's a thick
like no
layer
one's
of
been
dust.
up there in 100
in
years.
like a
thick
in
layer
a
of
hot
dust.
minute.
Yeah.
No one has been there to clear the dust. And it says, Jared Grace, leave this place. And he already didn't want to be there. So he took that as like a, well, crap. I guess we're
I'm
leaving.
Not gonna be here.
Guess I'm not going to be here. So he goes back down and he finds his twin brother in his bedroom. And he's
Yeah.
like, look what I found. And his brother's like, shut up. And then he's like, oh, nuts.
But in like nicer words, because
yeah, 'cause
Simon's
he's a pacifist.
Simon's against conflict.
He's against conflict.
He's probably just like traumatized from his parents' divorce. So he,
Yeah, probably.
yeah, but
Anyway.
anyway, he's a loser.
Yeah, so Jared starts reading it in his bed. He like opens the seal, and then you hear the same like or whatever. And he kind of is like, whoa.
And the shockwave comes out and like blows his hair up in the air.
Yeah. And then he reads it anyway.
But he reads it in like, he calls it a footlocker, but it's just like a chest.
Yeah, it's just like a
Which-
chest at the foot of the bed.
Is like number one way to accidentally kill yourself. Like he
It's
went.
true, he was going to get suffocated.
Yeah, like he went in a sealed chest.
Suffocation 101.
I guess like it didn't really have like a, is it called a pad? It wouldn't be a padlock because,
It'd be a padlock.
well, no, it's not padlock,
not
but like
padlock.
the thing that comes
Yeah.
down that you would put the padlock in. Anyway, it doesn't have one of those, so he's
No,
fine.
yeah, he's fine, but it's still suffocation 101.
Yeah. And then he like sits there reading
For like 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours, like 2 a.m. now. 2:45 a.m.,
yeah.
I think.
And then he hears his sister scream. And okay, this is crazy. Also, how does she sleep through this?
I don't know,
Basically,
man.
someone tied all of her hair to like the bed frame. But
yeah,
like
and in like multiple strands. Like there's
Yeah.
8 strands of hair coming out the back,
yeah.
and just like each of them is tied to a different spot on the bed frame.
Yeah, and it's
wild.
not like it's like the head of the bed frame. It's not like the sides.
Yeah.
They like where her head is, they tied the hair to the bed frame behind her.
Yeah.
And she's like, Mom, just cut it. Just cut it.
Ah! She's like screaming, and naturally, because Jared is the source of all problems in this family,
Yeah.
they're like, Jared, you've gone way too far this time.
Why'd
and
you
he's
do
like,
that?
I've literally been reading in a footlocker for the past 2 hours. And he's
then
like,
he asks
right,
Simon.
Simon. And Simon's like, well, he did come out of a footlocker.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Simon is an L brother. He doesn't even try to defend him, even though like the footlocker is in the same room as Simon.
Yeah.
Feasibly, there is no way for him to get out of the room without Simon seeing it. Like, I guess
No.
you could say, oh, he fell asleep. But like, come on.
Come
Brothers are better than that.
Brothers are better than that. He should have stood up for him.
Yeah,
Like
literally.
realistically, I would stand up for my brother, probably.
He's a pacifist. Shout out Malcolm.
He doesn't. Shout out Malcolm. If you're
shout out Malcolm Philip Bruinsma.
Malcolm Bruinsma.
You better be watching this.
I hope you are watching this.
Anyway,
so when he was reading the book, he discovers that this world is filled with magical creatures that are like invisible or whatever.
Yeah, no one can see them unless they have the sight.
The sight. Or
the magical washer.
The magical washer of sight. And that's the only way you can see these creatures unless the creatures want you to see them.
Oh. Tough.
The lights are gone. Oh, heck.
Sometimes this just happens. I like the dark.
Oh, we're back.
Yay.
Sorry, guys.
We need, guys, sponsor us and just give us things to throw.
We need a
at the darkness.
We need a crew.
A third
to just
person.
Stand in the room to turn the lights back on when they turn off.
We need someone to turn the lights off and chuckle from off screen.
Yeah, literally. We need someone that we can yell at that you guys can't quite hear because you hear it just barely off of our mics.
Yeah.
But you can tell someone's talking, but you can't hear what they're saying.
Exactly. He can sit in Rem's gamer chair.
Yeah, he can sit in the gamer chair of the prof that works in this room.
Okay.
That's so random. Just I don't know. The school's recording studio is just in one of the prof's offices.
Yeah.
So we're sitting in a prof's office at 8 p.m. without his knowledge, filming the podcast.
Without his knowledge or consent.
Yeah, literally. Anyway. He discovers that this world is filled with magical creatures that are invisible, and they're being tormented by the ogre Mulgarath,
who takes many forms, including but not limited to a snake and a bird.
And a ogre.
Yes, he is an ogre.
He's also an ogre.
And you can tell it's him because yellow eye.
Yeah, he can turn into a snake and a bird. That's really important for later. So remember that he can turn into a bird. A bird.
Oh, and he also finds out that a specific creature really likes honey. So he goes back up to where he found the book.
Uh-huh.
And he brings honey on crackers and he's like, hey, could you come eat this?
Mm-hmm.
Prove I'm not crazy.
The creature loves it. His name is
Thimbletack.
Thimbletack, I think.
Wow, Arthur Spiderwick is so creative, guys.
And this Thimbletack is the most. He's the most annoying. I don't remember. He's a boggart when he's angry.
Yeah, but what is he when he's not?
Oh heck!
Is it a brownie? A Barney? He is Barney the purple dinosaur.
I don't know. I only wrote down the word boggart.
Okay, he becomes a boggart when he gets upset.
Yeah, when he gets upset.
And usually he just looks like a little elf guy.
Yeah, he's upset a lot though.
But he's so upset all the time. And then he turns green and he gets all big and fat.
Yeah.
He gets really ugly and annoying.
And he starts throwing things.
But he's so
squealing.
Guys, he's so puntable.
Yeah, he looks like a football.
Oh my gosh, he literally
looks like an American football.
Guys. He's Cocoa Brown size.
Oh my goodness. He actually is. He's so bullyable.
He is.
Oh my gosh.
Can we add to the Cocoa Brown Club an appendix that says Boggart Hate Club? Thimbletack Hate Club?
No, they don't know. They don't know that that's us.
That's not me.
We don't run that account.
That's true. It's fake.
Yeah, it's not real.
We're featured on it though.
We are featured on it. We don't run it. We don't run it.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh, the lights again. What the heck? That was way too quick.
The light rebelled against us.
Why would you do that? It doesn't
Yeah, anyway. So he's all like, "Oh, you took the book. I'm going to kill you because you took the book. You stupid idiot. Why didn't you read my warning and put it down?" Also, the warning only half rhymes. Thimbletack just gave up on the rhyme scheme halfway through.
Yeah, literally.
Another reason why he should be punted through that little window in the attic.
Yeah. So in conclusion, we learned a lot about Thimbletack, and mostly it was just that we want to punt him.
Yeah, and he tells them, "Oh, you have to keep the book away from Mulgarath, the giant ogre."
He was told by
Spiderwick
that he was supposed to protect the book. So he takes that job very seriously.
Does he though? He did a pretty garbage job.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
Why was he knocking on the walls in the first place?
That's a good question.
Did he want to be Thimbletack is
Anyway,
garbage, guys.
so-
I'm sorry.
So they're chilling. The next day,
No,
Simon.
it's that same scene.
Oh, you're right. Simon goes outside
Yeah.
and gets just pulled away by a bunch of goblins.
And they look so disgusting.
Oh my gosh, they look gross.
They
Grody.
look they look kind of like toads if they could like walk.
Yeah, a little bit. That's actually a good description. They look
Yeah.
like toads if they were like more round
Yeah.
and
They're kind of also football shaped
constantly
a little bit.
drooling.
Yes.
They're disgusting.
They are disgusting. And Thimbletack is like, look, the goblins are coming because of the book.
because of the book.
And then,
And they pull Simon away.
yeah, while Jared watches from the attic.
Yeah, and this is where Thimbletack gives him this little washer to look through that allows him to like see the creatures.
Yeah. And I don't know if the movie explains how the washer lets
No.
him see.
No. It just does.
It just
magic.
kinda
It's
does.
magic, Owen.
Is it?
It's
Is it?
magic, Owen. Anyway, so he gets pulled away by the goblins.
And then he chases after
Yeah,
them.
Jared kind of chases after them. For
And
whatever
he-
reason, Jared always brings the book with him.
True.
Like, I don't know what he's thinking when he does that.
Well, I mean, actually, you're so right. Because now he knows the book is dangerous.
He
and
knows
that
the book is
ogre
dangerous and he
wants it.
knows Mulgarath wants it. And yet he still
Also-
takes it with him every time.
Like, okay, actually, we'll come back to this later. But basically, I'm wondering why the ogre even needs the book. He could just like study it all himself.
Yeah,
But
he could.
anyway,
This is where we meet my least favorite character in the entire movie. His name is Hogsqueal.
Seth Rogen,
Seth Rogen plays this
Hogsqueal.
absolutely like repulsive little creature
Yeah, he's
that just is addicted to eating birds.
a hobgoblin.
He's a hobgoblin. He's
He-
tiny. He's also puntable.
He's less puntable. He's more like he feels like if you squeezed him too hard, he'd just explode.
He does. Oh my gosh, this creature's so annoying because he like
He's in a cage.
he exists for most of the movie. He exists for two reasons. Okay, the first reason is to spit on the characters because for whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Keep going.
The first reason is because if he spits on any of the characters, it's just like it's never explained either, but for whatever reason, he can just spit on the character's eyes and they just gain the ability to see all things. Like all the things that used to be invisible, they just, when he spits on them, they're permanently able to see everything, which is totally
Crazy. But yeah,
and then
he's-
also he exists for another reason, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Because then every time he looks like he's about to be an important character, he sees a bird and just runs off screen and isn't seen for the next 20 minutes.
bro is actually so worthless.
Oh my gosh,
He's also really
Anyway.
cowardly.
and then we also in this scene, because the goblins are like, they're taking Simon, and then Mulgarath comes and talks
They're
to
like,
Simon. He's
Mulgarath,
like, Mulgarath. And then Mulgarath just kind of spawns and tells Simon
yeah,
he spawns as a human man.
yeah, and like a really old man, and it's kind of funny because like it's like this dramatic summoning ritual, and he comes out of like a pile of leaves,
Yeah.
but like it's like he was just sleeping in the pile of leaves and got up.
A little bit, yeah.
Like it doesn't look like that, but that's how it feels. Like he
Yeah.
just like
He just kind of
stands up.
spawns.
yeah,
Anyway, so he stands up. He's just like this really old human guy
dressed in black.
dressed in all black. And he tells Simon, he's like, I need
He's got
the
a
book
sick
or
hairstyle
something.
and beard.
A little bit. He says to Simon, I need the book. And then Simon's like, I know where it is. I'll go get it for you. And he runs away. And Jared, just for whatever reason, is like Sneak Master 2000. Because he
Yeah.
just like is sneaking around the goblin's lair the whole time, talking to Hogsqueal, who is not quiet
At all.
by the way.
Hogsqueal is so loud.
So loud.
Hence the squealing part.
Anyway, so yeah, he somehow sneaks right by the goblins.
Yeah, he
And there's
sneaks
even a
in
point.
and out.
There's even a point where when Simon is leaving, where he like sees Jared, looks Jared in the eyes, and waits for Jared to tell him to leave. As like all the goblins and Mulgarath are watching him leave because he's about to go find the book.
Yeah.
And then Simon just looks over at Jared and then continues walking, and nobody notices Jared.
And then like not even seconds later, Jared meets up with Simon and they argue over the book like in person.
Yeah, whether or not to give Mulgarath the book.
And they're like fighting with each other, and then like the goblins just appear.
Yeah, they just kind of show up.
I guess they were just jaunting around the forest. I mean, what else do goblins have to do, really?
This is true.
And then they run away with the book. And they get inside the circle, But then
there's a circle.
Oh, yeah,
there's a
the
circle around their house that gives them protection.
Yeah, it's made of toadstools, and the monsters can't go through the circle.
No, they cannot.
But anyway, they go inside the circle, and then their sister Mallory, still strapped up with that sword, comes from like the shed, the forest.
I don't know. Yeah, she comes from the shed, and she's like, "What are you guys doing?" And they're like, "Run inside the circle." And she's like, "What are you guys doing?" And they're like, "Get inside the circle. There's goblins. There's goblins all around you." And then she starts walking back, and then she gets attacked by the goblins. Oh my gosh, why is it so fast today?
I don't know. Okay. Terrible.
Anyway, so yeah, the goblins
the goblins start attacking her because she can't understand.
And they're invisible, so she can't see them.
Yeah, they're invisible to her eyes.
And then Jared just kind of yells out like instructions, and she starts slashing him with her sword.
It's actually like so sick.
It is actually pretty sick.
He's like, below your belt at 12 o'clock. And she just like slices one of their hands off. And you're like,
it's really impressive.
Dang.
And then
she doesn't just like slice. She'll like skewer too.
Yeah, she stabs
It's kind of crazy.
And then Jared tosses the washer, this little washer.
It's
throws
like
it at her.
Small.
She catches it. And then she kills the rest of them while like looking through the thing.
It's like, honestly, like this movie isn't super good. But this scene, I think, is like a highlight. It's so cool.
Yeah.
When he like throws the washer at her and she like catches it, and it's like slow-mo, but not obnoxious slow motion, in my opinion. And yeah, she just starts like, I will say, when she's like looking through the washer at them, it's pretty ugly. It's
ugly.
Like you're looking through a fisheye lens at a toad, but it's worse than that, obviously.
Yeah. So then they go inside. They try to burn the book, but the book is burn proof. You can't burn the book.
Yeah.
And then Simon makes like this little thing to hold the washer so that it can be like permanently on their eye.
Yeah.
So that they can always see.
He just makes like a really advanced monocle.
Yeah,
like,
essentially.
But even so, like they still hold it. They don't like.
Yeah.
Which like, what was the point?
Yeah, a little bit. And then at this point, they decide
cool now.
that the best course of action is to go talk to their aunt who is in the nut house.
Yeah, Lucinda from
before.
Earlier.
Because they decide like she obviously would probably know the most about all this stuff because she was like the daughter of.
She claimed her
Spiderwick
father was taken away by fairies. And they're like, oh well, if goblins are real, surely
the fairies are real. The fairies. Just a fairy.
They like walk into town?
Yeah. Well, no. They go through the sewers, remember? They go to the shed, which has like a secret passageway to the sewers. And they run like all the way to the sewers. They get chased by this big monster thing.
Which I'm pretty sure is Mulgarath.
No, it can't be Mulgarath because it gets like decapitated at the end.
But it's so big.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a massive creature.
And
like,
they never specify what it is.
Yeah, they never say what it is or where it came from. So like it could be Mulgarath, but at the same time, like it gets hit so hard by a truck. Like, okay, so they're running through the sewer away from it, and then it like grabs Jared and then
almost gets away with him.
Yeah, it almost gets away with him, but then what?
I don't remember.
Mallory stabs it or something.
Yeah, something like that. Know. And then Jared gets away. They run up the ladder and they come out on like one of the sewer things.
Yeah, and they kind of stand off to the side.
And they're like on the street. So they stand off to the side. And then as the monster comes out of the sewer thing, it just gets like rammed by a truck.
Yeah,
and decapitated, and then it slinks back into.
It's actually crazy. Its neck goes like 90 degrees and then just goes like.
Yeah, like slinks back down into the sewers.
And then the
guy comes out. The guy comes out because it's invisible, so he doesn't know. And he's like, "Did I hit something?" And then Jared's like, "Yes, thank you," and then runs away.
No further elaboration.
No further questions.
And then they're like walking, and their mom sees them from work.
And she's like,
workplace.
"That's odd."
Also, like I get that Mallory needs her fencing sword for whatever, but like they get into this nursing home. It's not even a nursing home; it's a sanatorium.
True.
And with a sword.
Yeah, with an actual sword.
Like they're just chill with that.
Yeah, they don't care at all, which is wild.
It's actually wild.
Yeah, so they get in with the sword.
They go see Aunt Lucinda, and honestly, pretty regular looking lady.
Yeah, she seems pretty not crazy to me.
Yeah, she seems nice. She's got like salt all around her bed, and because salt also protects them, I think.
Yeah, no, salt is like acid to the goblins. So yeah, they get there. They talk
to Lucinda.
We need help. And then they show her the book and she's like, "Why did you bring it here?" And then she like pushes them inside and then the fairies all are like, ah.
It's actually so funny because she says, like, if you read the book, you would have known why you shouldn't bring it. But then she says, like, seconds later that she never read the book.
True.
Which is kind of funny because, like, she assumedly didn't know about all the things because she says that Arthur, she got like attacked by this is in this scene, actually. She explains, like, the backstory of how her father is still alive. He was taken by the Sylph.
Yeah.
And basically what happened was she was playing on the circle, like on the toadstools, and she got like grabbed up by goblins.
Mm-hmm.
And then Arthur Spiderwick runs out and saves her. But then he's like 2 feet away from the circle, but he's surrounded by goblins, meaning there's like 2.
Yeah, literally.
He could literally kick them and run into the circle. Like, it's actually wild.
But instead he gets taken away by the sylphs.
By the sylphs, which are just like little, they kind of look like dandelions.
The fairies.
They look like dandelions after you blow on
Well, it's
them.
because that's literally what they are when they're in the glade later. That's what they come from.
Oh.
They come off the dandelions. Anyway.
Spoilers.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the goblins come, they show up at Aunt Lucinda's place, and they reach in and they almost steal the book from Jared's hands, but instead they just rip out a bunch of pages and take that. None of which are helpful to Mulgarath, luckily.
None of which. Except, no, there is one.
Oh, there's one. But Mulgarath finds the page that says, on the night of the full moon, the shield will not exist in the circle around their house. and they're like, oh, well, I guess we're going to get the book then.
Because we're going to kill them.
We're going to kill them all.
Why didn't they just like, well, like, I
guess. They're genius. Genii, if you will.
Shut your mouth
and
up.
Yeah, so Aunt Lucinda tells them, if you want to do anything, you're going to have to find my father.
My father.
My father.
When, like, they throw the salt at the goblins and the goblins, like, fall away. I love that, like, Jared goes up to the window and just, like, screams at them.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, like, the window already shattered, and then he goes up to the window, like, literally with the book, and he's like, and then Lucinda's all traumatized, and the orderlies come in along with
and then their mother
right?
shows up and takes them home. And this is where Jared says some of the wildest things I've ever heard a son say in a film. He looks his mom in the eyes and said, "This is why Dad left, you know."
And then says, I hate you.
He says, "I hate you and I don't want to live with you," and then slams the door and runs inside.
It's actually crazy.
Like, what? Oh my goodness, that's wild.
Then Mallory reveals that she knows why their dad left.
Yeah. But her mom won't tell Jared for whatever reason.
Yeah. Because another thing is that Jared is like expecting his dad to come and pick them up.
And take him away.
He very clearly is like, he's dancing around the subject. The dad, he's not going to.
Yep. Oh yeah, the hobgoblin shows up for a few more minutes here. I don't remember why, but I wrote in my notes.
He's worthless.
Hobgoblin. More like hop, skip, and a jump off my screen now because you're useless.
Could you have read that any more monotone? Hop, skip, and a jump off my screen because you're useless.
Well, he is. And the hobgoblin tells them, I don't remember. It doesn't matter. They call a griffin.
Yes, they call Buckbeak. Obviously, it's not Buckbeak.
It's not Buckbeak
literally
from
Buckbeak.
It literally looks exactly like Buckbeak from Harry Potter, if you guys have seen that one.
The CGI on the griffin looks okay. The goblins, Garrett thinks the goblins look really ugly. And I mean, obviously they're supposed to look ugly, but I will admit they definitely stand out really hard against like everything.
Yeah. I think their CGI is bad. Owen doesn't think it's that bad.
Yeah, but yeah. It's not Astrid and Thor Love and Thunder, and so I'm satisfied.
Yeah, no, it's valid. So they hop on Buckbeak.
Yeah, they summon him with like elven language, which is just like Tree Gleek Beak Meek.
Yeah.
Bath Math Ritty Math
Tree Gleek Beak Meek. And then the griffin just shows up at their front door.
Was that a Gleek reference?
No. Gleek. The Gleek. Okay. If you're from camp, you'll
get that.
You'll get that one.
If there's any water in your vicinity right now,
you
it's
better have just
actually
done
the
the thing. You better have just done the thing. If you know
I don't
mean.
care if it's glass.
I don't care what it's made of. Do the thing. The Gleek is in it.
Defeat the Gleek.
Defeat the Gleek.
Anyway,
sorry, inside joke.
Can we treat Hogsqueal like he's the Gleek?
Yes. I wish.
Awful.
Okay. So the Griffin takes them to this like glade, this beautiful thing right in the middle of a bunch of mountains.
Mm-hmm. This is like one of those trademark whimsical scenes.
Yeah, literally. So they show up, the sylphs just kind of like float into the air, and then Spiderwick spawns in front of them.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the sylphs make you like dissociate.
Yeah.
So
honestly, pretty sick entrance from Spiderwick.
Yeah, a little bit. Spiderwick spawns and then is like, my daughter's 6 years old. And they're like, no, she's 86. And he's like, he's actually kind of like, he doesn't react as much as you'd expect him to react.
Like, that's the case with every character in this movie at all times. They never react as much as you think they should.
They're always underreacting. The Spiderwick family is just like the kings of underreactions.
Yeah, like, I don't know what they've been through that they just don't react at all. But anyway.
Maybe that's what comes from divorce.
Maybe.
Yeah, so...
Also, Spiderwick reacts to the fact that his wife is, like, dust. As in dead. Because he's 125.
He's 125. Although we've never seen his wife. Doesn't show up on screen.
Yeah, she doesn't show up at all. Like, I don't know where she was when he was putting the book together.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, whatever. He tells them...
Wait. I forgot we wrote this down. Hogsqueal looks exactly the opposite of endearing and attractive.
That's true.
That's the description of Hogsqueal that we wrote down. Anyway.
We'll probably, at the end of this episode, we'll probably have like an extended discussion about how awful Hogsqueal is.
That's true. Yeah, so the sylphs make you dissociate. Oh, Jared has another menace line where he says, "You're 125 years old. Your life is over." Looks him in the eyes and is like, "You're old. You have no life anymore." Oh my gosh.
Bro, Jared is crazy.
What the frick frack patty whack is that?
He's like, honestly, like, he's such a cool protagonist. I kind of wish more characters were as to the point as he is.
Yeah, he's good at this.
Yeah. But yeah, his siblings are getting all distracted by the sylph. And
and then his dad's like, or the Spiderwick guy's like, "You're gonna have to defeat them.
You have to defend the..." Oh yeah, because they were going there to give the book to
or ask how to destroy the book.
Or ask how to destroy it.
And Spiderwick's like, "You cannot."
He says that, but also the book they took with them was actually just a cookbook.
Oh, that's
and
true.
The real book is back at the house because Thimbletack switched them.
Yeah, as to protect them.
For the one time when it didn't matter, he did his job right.
Yeah.
What an
idiot. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So they hop, skip, and jump on the Griffin back to the house.
Yeah.
And they set up. Simon has been making bombs out of tomato juice, which is like plastic bags filled with tomato sauce or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they prepare themselves because it's the night of the full moon.
Yeah, and their
mom comes back and
they like run at the vehicle.
Yeah, they run at the vehicle.
Because the goblins are already there, basically. Like they're on approach.
Waiting. They're
on approach.
Yeah, so they run out to the vehicle that their mom is in.
They get in.
Hop in and just like drive back. And then their mom's like, "You guys are crazy. What's happening?"
Yeah, they like, okay, can I just say, they drive the car like into the house, but it only hits like their porch.
Yeah.
It's actually so tame.
They drive the house into the house in the most safe way possible. It's actually incredible.
Yeah, like they probably only cause like $200 worth of damages.
If that, yeah.
If that, like really all they have to do is move the posts like a little to the side.
That's true, but there's a lot more damage that happens later. Yeah. So they go inside and their mom's like, "You guys are all crazy. If this is more goblin crap, then you're in big trouble, mister.
You're in big trouble."
And then he gives her the washer
so she
thing,
can see.
And then she looks and she sees Thimbletack and almost has like a heart attack.
Again, and then she sees the goblins outside.
And then she almost has a heart
of the
attack.
century.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh."
I swear she reacts more to the water spewing her face.
She does.
The goblins.
Literally. Then discovering that goblins are real.
But yeah, then she's just like instantly on the same page.
Yeah, she's like, "All right, let's defend this book thing."
Like this family is separated because of the divorce, but they're also like one of the most united fronts I've ever witnessed in monster defense.
Yeah, so they just kind of sit on the second floor back to back and hold like the tomato sauce
Like
bombs.
if this family were like Five Nights at Freddy's protagonist, they'd have it on lock.
They actually
It'd
would.
be
it's crazy.
over for the animatronics. Anyway,
Yeah, so they prepare themselves. The goblins come in when the shield goes down. They attack from like the floorboards. They come out from the floorboards. The tomato sauce bombs are like grossly effective.
It's crazy. Like they'll throw it at their head and the top half of their head will just disappear.
Just melt.
It's actually
gone.
wild.
It's
like,
so gross.
This is not only where most of the CGI went, this scene,
yeah,
but it's also like, I don't know what this movie is rated, but if it has to be PG-13 because of this scene.
You would think.
Because like, oh my gosh, like top halves of heads are just coming off.
Oh my gosh.
Fingers are getting like sliced. It's crazy.
It's wild. Anyway, so they do this fight scene. At one point, they get chased into the kitchen, and they all get inside cupboards. And
not yet.
They put all of the tomato sauce into the oven.
Yeah, but there's before that. They go into like the room with the grand piano.
Oh, true.
And they like, what do? Like something comes up from under the rug.
Yeah.
And the grand piano like falls towards them, so they're like basically pinned against the door. And it's Mulgarath and all his
ogre glory.
He kind of like he's got a lot of like tree like protrusions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True.
Like branch-esque.
Yeah.
He's really tall. He's probably like the height of your average room, I would say.
Probably. He's like Goliath.
Yeah.
Like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, he's like Goliath. He's not really muscular though. Like he kind of just looks like a dad with a beer belly.
Yeah, a little bit.
And a really big head.
Yeah. So he chases them into the kitchen.
Yeah, he like smashes the grand piano against the wall. He like crushes all their walls. He like, when they go into the kitchen, he doesn't like go through a door. Does he go through a door?
No, he just kind of walks through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
Or if anyone has seen Black Adam, the way Black Adam just like walks through walls, it's totally like that.
Yeah. So they go into the kitchen, they put all of their stuff into the oven, and they put like a fuse somehow. And then they hop into like cupboards,
the dumbwaiter.
The goblins every single goblin comes into the kitchen.
And Mulgarath.
And then they light the fuse and it blows up the oven with the tomato sauce and stuff, and the tomato sauce spews everywhere, and every goblin melts.
Yeah, it's
like,
not
acid, like melts.
Yeah, like they're gone.
And then so when they come out of the cupboards, they step in like a foot deep of tomato sauce and just goblin slime.
They're
dead. So gross.
And then their dad comes home.
Yeah. They think they've won because all the goblins are gone.
Yeah, they're like their dad is knocking on the door.
Yeah, they come to the front door. That's their dad.
He like has to push a whole like shelf out of the way because they block the front door with whatever.
Yeah, literally.
And he comes out and
he talks to Jared, and Jared's like, "Dad, you had something to tell me. You have to tell me what it was on the phone when you called me. I need you to tell me what it was."
You sound like Doug Jones. If there's an animated Velocipaster, Garrett could be Doug Jones.
I could be all of them.
All of them?
I will be all of them.
Can I be Carol?
You can be Carol.
Yeah.
Let me be Adelaide.
Adeline. Anyway.
Sorry. Velocipaster reference.
Yeah.
His dad comes in and he's talking to Jared, and then Jared's like, "You need to tell me what you were going to tell me." Then he's like, "I just wanted to say that I loved you." And then Jared is like, "Wrong answer." And then
he's like,
stabs him.
Yeah, like he stabs him in the chest with a knife. He's like, "It's not Dad."
It's not.
And stabs him
Dad.
in the chest.
And stabs him in the
chest.
And
then like
on a hunch.
It could totally feasibly.
It could have been his dad.
It could have been his dad because his dad was being evasive to begin with.
True.
It could totally have been his dad.
But he stabs him.
And he's not charged with murder because it's actually
Mulgarath himself.
Mulgarath.
Anyway.
So Mulgarath starts chasing Jared through the house because Jared has the book, and he's just like whopping his family out of the way.
Yeah, literally. He just like backhands all of them and they go flying.
He like backhands Mallory and she like goes through a door into the adjoining room.
Yeah, he chases Jared all the way up the dumbwaiter as a snake.
This chase is actually also really good. Jared gets in the dumbwaiter and Mulgarath tries to put his fingers in. And then he like pulls the dumbwaiter
and cuts his fingers off.
It's crazy. And then he turns into a snake.
Yeah.
It's a big snake too.
It
It's
is
like
a huge, it's like an anaconda, like 30 foot.
Yeah, like a
It's crazy.
python. Yeah. And he like slithers up and then he's like chasing him through the attic. He like trips him up with his
Yeah.
body.
Almost gets him.
And
then Thimbletack does something.
Attacks.
Fights the snake for like 30 seconds and then gets drop kicked.
It's actually, I love watching characters get thrown so hard they hit a wall and like bounce and then fall down. It's one of my favorite things.
Anyway, so Jared escapes out a window and then Mulgrath chases him onto the roof.
It's actually, I'm not going to lie, like this alongside the earlier scene with Mallory fighting the goblins, this is another highlight of
the
movie
third
for
act
me.
in this movie is pretty good except for the ending.
Except
but we'll
for
get
the
there.
ending. Yeah.
So they're on the roof. Jared is running all over the roof and Mulgrath is like chasing him.
Yeah.
At one point, he gets it so that Jared is like hanging off the side of the building.
Yeah.
And Mulgrath is looking down at him, is like, "Give me the book." And he's like, "No, give me the book." No, give me the book. And then he's like, "If you want the book so bad, go and get it." And then he throws the book. Mulgrath jumps off of the roof, turns into a bird. A bird. And then catches the book in bird form.
Yeah.
And then you'll never guess who.
Can we not
check
say?
my notes.
Can we not say?
Freaking Hogsqueal eats Mulgrath in bird form.
In bird form.
That's the ending to this movie. Mulgrath gets eaten by Hogsqueal.
By Hogsqueal. It's crazy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell, but that made me kind of mad when we watched it.
It's worth yelling about.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, also,
it's so anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's so anticlimactic.
It's so like you watch this whole fight scene and then you watch Mulgrath jump off a building and get eaten.
Yeah.
Like what?
Brutal. I will say though, I actually really like the animation of him like turning into the bird.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
I love all the animations of like Mulgrath turning into a snake or into a bird. It always looks really cool.
Pretty good.
But yeah, it's so anticlimactic. Like Hogsqueal.
Seth Rogen the Hobgoblin eats Scary Ogre
in bird form.
And the world is fine.
Yeah, like the world is just saved. Because they say that like if Mulgrath has the book, he'll become like the most powerful being on the planet.
Yeah, something like that.
But like if he can just get eaten as a bird and like nothing happens, honestly, part of me thinks that like they probably just didn't have enough money to like, or maybe it would be too violent if they had to like physically kill him. Or maybe they like initially had like, maybe they had another ending and then,
oh my gosh, the lights.
Maybe they had another ending and then they realized like, oh shoot, we're not going to make enough money. And then they're like, we have to animate a garbage ending so that we have a satisfying ending without setting up another movie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was so bad. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then Spiderwick shows up with the sylphs. This is where I think that this movie inspired Interstellar.
Christopher Nolan took inspiration.
Christopher Nolan took inspiration from the Spiderwick Chronicles because in Interstellar there's a scene where he comes back and what?
This is a massive spoiler. Are you?
Oh, you're so right.
For like
spoiler alert
for Interstellar.
For Interstellar. If you're gonna watch Interstellar, skip like 5 minutes ahead.
Yeah. So you guys don't get a timestamp. LOL.
No. In Interstellar, there's a scene where he comes back, and he goes through like a black hole, and then he comes out. He gets like tossed out near like Saturn or whatever, and they pick him up, and then he meets his daughter,
and she's
like older. She's older than him. She's like an elderly lady.
Yeah.
And he's like still like 40 or something. So he has this whole conversation. It's really emotional. It's a great movie.
It's good.
But the same thing happens in this one, and I think this one came out first because the Spiderwick comes back first with the sylphs and meets his daughter,
who's way older,
who's like 86.
Even though he's like 125, he looks like he doesn't look like he's 40, but he's supposed to be 40.
He's 120. Yeah. He's technically 40, but he looks slightly older than that. Yeah. But he looked slightly older than that in the flashbacks too.
Yeah, true.
Like it's the same actor guy. Yeah. With no like he aged makeup or anything.
Yeah.
When he comes back. I think it works.
Yeah.
Because the sylphs make him ageless. It's just that if the sylphs were to ever leave, all of the aging would come back at once and he would melt.
He'd turn to dust, he says.
So yeah, he meets his daughter, and then the
Lucinda.
sylphs take the daughter away with him.
And she becomes a 6-year-old girl again.
Yeah, the sylphs turn her back into a 6.5-year-old girl.
Which, like, do you think she's okay with that?
She seemed pretty okay with it.
She
seemed
did.
pretty excited about it.
That's true.
She was like, "Daddy,
Daddy.
Daddy." No, don't whisper that. Stop. No. Yeah, so she gets taken away, and then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah,
Jared
the
makes
family's
up
just
with
chilling.
his mom.
The house, I'm assuming, gets repaired.
Probably.
Who knows with whose money? Maybe
yeah,
their dad's alimony.
Probably.
No.
That, that was a good one. Maybe it was Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen fixed their house. That's my headcanon.
Oh, also, we never said this, but the reason their dad isn't like talking to them is because he moved in with another woman.
Yeah, he did.
Which they treat as like
the end of the world.
Yeah, like,
but like
really,
they broke up. As long as he wasn't with this other woman while they were still married.
Yeah.
Realistically, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. We're not condoning it, but it is.
Yeah, we're not condoning it, but
it could be worse. It could definitely be worse.
And then that's the end of the movie. They fly away with the sylphs, and then film end.
Like, I don't know, probably, you know how these movies go. There's probably like a last scene of the griffin flying into the camera.
Yeah, probably.
And then cut to credits. Mark Waters. Thanks.
Mark Waters. Produced
Does
by.
he make anything else?
Let me see.
I'm actually
gonna
curious.
I'm gonna look.
Okay, while he looks that up, I think this movie's actually quite good. There's a couple scenes that are really stand out, as I've already said, but it's missing something.
He's done a bunch.
Oh, really? It's missing something that gives it like cult classic power, you know?
Yeah, it's not quite a cult classic.
It's not quite a cult classic. And as weird as this sounds, I don't actually think it's the anticlimactic ending.
I think that's definitely a big part of it.
It's part of it, but I don't think it's just that, because the other scenes are like really cool.
Yeah.
But they don't it's weird. Like what's happening is really cool, but it doesn't feel like
weight.
Yeah, like
there's no weight to it.
Exactly. Like I'm not feeling like I'm being grabbed by what's happening on screen.
The movie, okay, here's my take. The movie was a movie. That's essentially my take. I think
Thanks,
I
Garrett,
watched
for
the
that
movie.
Beautiful insight.
I watched the movie and it was like it was good. I'm not going to say it was bad, but it was just like there was no, I didn't take anything away from it. There was no real weight to the movie. Like it was just a movie.
Yeah, like
it was just something I watched, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. The stakes are so localized.
Yeah, they are.
It's not like, and like honestly, I feel like Mulgarath, I think one of the big reasons is that Mulgarath does not stand up as an antagonist. He's not intimidating at all.
No, not particularly.
Like, why would you make his first appearance? Like, I guess he's an
elderly man.
Like, I guess he's an old man to like kind of intimidate and to make him look innocent in front of Simon.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of like, there's this scene where he threatens to kill one of his goblins.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish he just did. I feel like that
would have made him more threatening.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
And I think another thing is like, obviously Hogsqueal exists to give the main characters the sight.
Yeah, that's the only reason he exists, and to eat him at the end.
Yeah, and like, I don't think a comic relief character doesn't really fit into the tone this movie is going for.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
Which is weird because most movies can fit one in, but this movie doesn't feel like it should have one.
No, it doesn't.
Because I will say, like, to me, it sets up a believable world.
It does.
It's good.
Everything that they set up is pretty decent.
Yeah, despite how localized it is. It feels good.
Yeah.
But Hogsqueal and the lack of Mulgarath's intimidation factor really takes away.
They take away from it. Anyway, before we give our official ratings, Mark Waters actually has directed a lot of stuff. You know, the He's All That, the remake with like Addison Rae.
Should we watch that movie, guys?
No.
Should we watch Addison Rae's He's All That?
The original Freaky Friday.
Oh,
with like Lindsay Lohan.
That's crazy.
He did Mr. Popper's Penguins with Jim Carrey.
No.
Yeah.
He directed it?
He directed it.
That's crazy.
He did Mean Girls.
The original
Mean Girls.
Bro, guys,
500 Days of Summer. I don't know that one that well, but I've heard of it. The those are the big ones. He's done a couple more, but none that I like recognize.
Okay.
But like he did a bunch that are like big.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
So
if you guys want to see any more Mark Waters, put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments
DM
below.
us on Instagram.
Yeah, we answer our DMs.
We do, yeah.
So yeah, just
and we
send
get
us a message.
so many.
We do. We get a lot of DMs, guys.
So many.
Yeah. Okay. So the official rating today, we didn't talk about this beforehand.
This is a really weird rating scale.
Yeah, go.
But let's rate it in terms of like, how do I
put into words
articulate this? Okay, Hogsqueal is a really bad animal comic relief character.
Okay.
Let's rate it on a scale of animal comic relief characters.
Animal comic
or
relief
comic
characters.
relief characters in general. This might take a second to
this
really
might take
think
a second
about,
for me to
because this is hard.
So like the top of the scale would be like
it would be like
Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King. That's the top of my scale.
They're really good.
That would be like number one on
and
my
Hogsqueal
list.
is like the bottom.
Yeah, he's like the bottom. The he doesn't even deserve to be mentioned.
So you know, like those iceberg videos.
Yes.
He's so deep into the iceberg that no one even wants to mention it.
Yeah, literally. Okay.
Let's think of some examples because I think this one's actually tough.
This one is tough.
Is
there like Tow Mater?
Yeah, Tow Mater.
Lightning McQueen.
I think this might be a weird pick, but I think Hedwig counts on some level. He's not comic relief, but he has the same
but
like side
someone
character.
Who's the guy that just like blows things up accidentally?
In what?
In Harry Potter. It starts with an S, I think.
Know.
Oh. Okay, well actually that's gonna be my choice. That's my choice. I don't remember what his name is, but I think that quite encapsulates well my opinion on this movie. I think like I said, I think I just watched it. Like it's just one of the characters, you know?
That's
like this
fair.
the character from Harry Potter that I'm referencing, it's like Seamus. Seamus or something?
It must be Seamus.
I think it's Seamus, but essentially like he just kind of shows up a few times and literally every time it's just to like mess up a spell and it blows up in his face. Like that's the only thing he exists for. And yeah, I think that's my opinion on the movie. It was just like, it exists to be what it is, and that's about it.
I think I'm going to go with the Harry Potter thing as well.
Yeah.
You know how like J.K. Rowling on Twitter will just randomly say like, and there was actually a Muslim student at the school the whole time. Yeah. I feel like this is one of those characters as a movie. It's like
I like that answer. That's a good answer.
It was there the whole time.
Yeah.
But like, was it really though?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of not very notable.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
I mean, we didn't really stay true to what we said we were rating it based on, but I think this works.
No, this is good.
This is good.
This is good. Those were good ratings.
Yes.
Yep. Take those into account if you're ever going to watch this movie.
Yeah. But like honestly, yeah, like
I would recommend. It was good.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It's good. It's just like
you put it on and you'll enjoy it and then you won't remember it.
For me, like it's a movie I watched when I was a kid, so it's more memorable to me. Like I'd probably watch it again in like 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fine.
That's it for today's episode, I think. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah,
listening, watching, whatever you guys do.
What are we doing next time?
Next time is kind of up in the air, isn't it?
We have
2 ideas.
Oh, let's actually talk about that so we're doing a marathon.
Yeah.
Right?
So either way, it will be a marathon episode.
Yeah, we won't say which ones we're doing. What
series? No.
But we're gonna do a marathon of like 5 or 6-ish movies. And we'll either make it one really long episode
or 2 a part 1 part 2 kind of thing.
Or 2 episodes that we release like week after week instead of every other
2 weeks.
week.
But yeah, it'll be like on a full series of movies.
Yeah,
there's 2 series that we're kind of considering. We're just not 100% sure which one we're gonna do yet.
Yeah,
so you guys will discover it in 2 weeks when that episode comes out.
And we'll probably like after this, we'll probably do more marathons, but we'll try to spread it out.
Yeah, we'll try to spread it out. But we do plan on doing a few marathons here and there.
Like, yeah.
There will eventually be an episode on Sharknado.
Eventually.
We sat down and watched all 6 Sharknado movies.
Yeah.
We'll have a guest on for that episode too.
Yeah.
We just have to nail down a time for him to be willing to come in and show up. But yeah. So yeah, next time will be a marathon episode. So look forward to that.
Look forward to that.
That'll be really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks
listening.
for watching. Dr. Pepper, sponsor us, please.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper, please sponsor us. We've got your
thing.
product.
We're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored.
We have to say that, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure. But go get Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I would recommend. It's
pretty
the best
chill.
drink.
Yeah, it's the best drink.
It's the drink of all time, I think, in my opinion.
Did you say the best or the drink of all
both?
time?
I said both.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bye, guys.
Bye.